Hey, hi. Oh, Gemini's here already. Looking forward to the show. Yeah, Cowboy is right here. Art in training for the snoozing championship. So I don't know if he'll give in any commentary today. We'll see if he uh, finishes his training exercises in time to make any commentary on the show. But yeah, little cowboy. Okay. He's there. And hello, I'm Deocean. And this is Deocean's Deep Blue, where we do the deepest of blue. And we are live. So it says, and that's good because it means you don't have to have a seance to see the show. So, however, if you are in the fifth dimension, it may not be a problem. I know that there are some 5D people that apparently are watching the show, so don't ask me how this happens. Um, which moon is in? Hi. Yeah. So, well, little cowboy, he was in the doghouse earlier. Oh, yeah, the cat was in the doghouse because it looks as though well, it was partly my fault. I made it just a little too easy and a little too tempting. But yep, he helped one of my beta fish pass on to the next dimension, I think. Yep. So um, it kind of looks there's some evidence. So I think Cowboy, well, he wanted to play with the little fishy. I mean, it was a pretty little fishy, and cow is cowboy to know that they're, cats and fish don't play that well together. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, love my hat. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's the newest one. Yep. I'm very fond of my new hat. Um my new witchy hat. My new witchy fairy folk. It's kind of a cross between witch and fairy folk, which is just about right. And this, I got all this off of Timu. I got both these items off Timu, but I couldn't resist this. I just couldn't. It's too cute, and I couldn't resist this because of the colors. The colors are just so bright. So this is a hoodie, by the way, too. So I'm real happy with a kangaroo pocket. Yeah. The only thing I don't like is it's polyester, but well. But the colors are beautiful. Anyway, Dolly is in. Hi, hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. Hang a bell on the tip. I know, I was thinking of that. Yeah, I was thinking of putting something on the tip of this thing. I don't know what yet. Bell or something. Yeah, it needs something on the tip. Just the tip. Oh, wait a minute. That's not all I have. I have something else. I'm not quite finished painting yet, but speaking of magic, Well, Witchy was speaking a magic wand, I think. Yes. This is another thing I got off of Temu. I couldn't resist. If anybody wants any of this, please let me know, because if you order it through my link, I get 20% of whatever you order. Or at least that's what they're saying. I've never had it happen yet, but I would be glad to do the shopping if I get the 20%. It would help me support my terrible habit that I have of I'm sorry, but some of this stuff is just too cute. It's terrible. Okay, I can't help it. I can't help it. Wait until I show you some of the other stuff. But anyway, that I couldn't help. Oh, wait. That's not all. Wait. No, I better put this on first and then turn off the light so I can see what I'm doing. Hang on just one moment, please. 1 hour later. It's not going to take that long to put this on. Put these on. Hang on. Hang on. This is pretty cool. You'll like it. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment here. These are just too weird. Okay, wait a minute. How does this one? Oh, okay. Okay. Whoa, that's wrong. Okay, there. Yes, I have to get used to them because they're wraparound gloves. Never had that before. So now, wait a minute. Right. Okay. Well. Can turn on this one too. Well, well, my pretty. What are you doing at this channel? What are you looking for? Hmm. We might be able to help. Okay, yes, I'm about 5. Okay. What? Ooh, let's tell ghost stories. I'm having entirely too much fun. Yeah. It's too much fun. And it really didn't cost much. It really didn't. I mean, I couldn't believe the one was only a couple of bucks. I'm going to paint it. It's really it's not very, it's all one color when you get it plastic, but I'm going to paint it and it'll look really cool. So. So anyway, the gloves are handy though. I mean, well, of course, gloves are handy, but you know, um, the gloves are kind of cool because, I mean, when you're doing something and it's it's dark, these are going to be very handy. So, a team is a real thing, yeah. Like I said, please, if you're looking for anything I'm wearing, let me know and I will send you my link and I'll get 20% of it. Although, and that's one way you can support this channel. Um, And if you don't want to do that, that's cool too. I mean, I'm just saying that I can afford to buy this. I can only afford to buy this stuff because it's a doggone. The prices are good. Let's just put it that way. The prices are very good. So I'm going to take these off for now. I've already impressed you with my light working skills, I guess. So, yeah. So I also have a purple velvet cape. I don't know where the heck I put it. Purple velvet cape I got from there that was about maybe $6, $7 or something. Um, anyway, yeah, it's a real thing. Um, so, and I'm having fun. So, and in a weird way, I didn't bring myself more money. Now, this is odd. You know, this is really the thing. It's not that I have more money coming in, but I did bring myself a way to have more buying power. So that's interesting because I keep getting, well, I get all kinds of, it's like I have to play a game with them though. I swear, it's like a game to play with them. You have to play a little game to get the big discounts in this company. And they have offers and stuff. And to me, it's like a game. So what's Xfinity? I don't even know what Xfinity is. I'm going through I have a Stripe account and a PayPal account. So I don't go directly through my bank account for Timu. And I don't recommend anybody go directly through your bank account if you can help it for any of these places. What's Xfinity? I'll have to look that up. I know I should know that. I don't know that. Well, anyway, we'll look that up later. So, subject is, and Jim and I well knows that I've been dealing with this kind of thing because she's been helping me. She's a very wise woman. And generational curses and ancestral curses. And this could be because you were born into a particular family and down through the centuries, and, we've been a lot of people in a lot of bodies and so on and so forth. But we get born, some of us, okay, this is the way that it's being explained to me. Quite a few of us that came here, light workers, the ones who were the elites that were boosting these people out of hell, basically. The people on this planet were being consumed by conditions that were making their lives hell. And as you noticed, it's like some kind of hell in some places. And we won't go into that right now, but the idea is some of us, you're wondering why you got born into your family. Well, there's lots of reasons. It wasn't by chance at all that you got born into your family. Not at all by chance. This was a plan. Okay. Chloe, how you doing? Oh, you missed the fun. in the beginning here. You missed Carol. It's all Timu. My Timu haul. My hat and my new hoodie. Yeah, my new fall hoodie and my magic wand. It's all Timu. And James Ortiz. And I speak favor and blessings over you too, James. I speak favor and blessings over everybody. Wee. I know. I love it. I'm like a little kid. I'm like a little kid. I really am. I'm such a kid. This thing was only, I think this was only like a couple of bucks. And the hat was maybe, I think it was like 8 or something. And this top was maybe, I think it was 13, 14 bucks. This hoodie, which is excellent. So I'm really happy. My light worker gloves. Oh, I got to show them off again. Okay, I'll show off my light worker gloves again. Hang on. I'm really happy with my light worker gloves. Except I figuring out exactly how to get them on right is the tricky part. Because they're kind of weird. They wrap around. They wrap around your hands. And then they connect with Velcro. There. So now my hands light up. So it's bringing out my inner child. Okay. It really is. I gotta say, there was something about it that it just I had to do it. It was bringing out my inner child to such an extent, which I find I've been told that I need that. Really need it. Oh, it flatters me. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I really like the colors are beautiful. This one I wore and I got compliments yesterday. I wore it with my mermaid cap that you guys have seen. That one I wore. And somebody said, is that, is that your look? Because they found out I had a show and it's like, oh, Ocean, is that your look? And it's like, that outfit, is that your outfit that you wear to, play? It's like, I hadn't thought of it, but you know what it could be. Because it looks great together with some of my other clothes. So, I mean, I'm upgrading I'm kind of giving myself a cheap glow up. It's sort of a glow up. So thank you, cutest button. Hi. Hi, beloved. How you doing? Beloved abstract. I've even got this that matches. This was like 78 cents or something. And it's just a little gaiter. You can wear it over your hair or you can put it up like that if somebody's giving you trouble over not wearing a mask. It's not really a mask, but I use them for my hair a lot. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, the colors. I love the printing on this. And then the other side is an entirely different thing. Entirely different thing. It's really cool. So, and then I got this a while back, showing off all my goodies. So this is one of those um, northern lights type lights. It kind of looks like the aurora or maybe water. It's very cool. And it shuts itself off after an hour, I think. Anyway, it shuts itself off. So, try a little black cat oil. Mm. Yeah. Some guy wanted to partner and make quilts that lit up. That technology wasn't up to it in the 80s. No, you know what? It. I am going to give myself. Oh, hello, Michelle. How you doing, love? Yeah, how you doing, love? Yeah, and you know what? You're one of the people that really needs to hear about this. I saw a funny meme. The virus escaped the lab, but your cheetah print mask will keep it out, which is as true as what they were telling us all the way through, right? No. No. I know. How you doing? Do you give out candy? Oh, I give out candy. Yes, little girl. I give out candy. Hmm. Oh, you're selling a whole tower? No, are you selling like a selenite tower or something? I've got a couple of those. Uh, I've got to get my act together to start selling stuff again. I had started that and I had a bunch of stuff to sell, stones and stuff. I had the makings of a nice crystal shop, but it was just so hard to get to get it together to get the stuff sent out through the post office because of where I'm living. It's complicated. So anyway, yeah, I've got to get myself together to do that again though, because I have all this stuff I really should sell off and not have just lying around the place. Weekend's almost over. Oh, the lab leak. Mhm. That's right. See, now that's it. Oh, it's pink amethyst. How pretty. Ah, yes. Um, yeah, I want to get back to that, you know. Um, really, you wonder why you're in a family. You were one of the very brave people in this generation, this one right here that we're in this time. You, all of you who are in a family afflicted with that, you came, part of your reason for coming was to completely clear that family line, that bloodline of curses, contracts, so on and so forth. And I want to remind you that we're talking in quantum terms here. So you're not just changing the future, you're changing your past as well. You can change your past. And that is because we're dealing quantum now. We're not dealing linear, we're not dealing Euclidean. Magic is not linear nor Euclidean. You know what? I haven't either, and I have to. Oh, you mean the anglerfish? I know it kind of looks like an anglerfish, doesn't it? Maybe I should put some bait on there. Yeah, I've had that trouble myself, Chloe. I'm gonna have to do something about that too. That's another thing I'm gonna deal with. Is my do I have a fear of success? Do I have a fear of failure? Some of us have a fear of both, success and failure. It's like why? We've got generational curses and ancestral curses. I mean, somebody didn't like I remember and I'm it's been in my mind. So I guess I have to mention it. I did see a show where somebody was interviewing a black magic user. And he was cursing America because they fought the Vietnam War. He was incensed about what they did in Vietnam. Now, he didn't care that a lot of us protested that and didn't want that to happen. He just wanted the US to pay. And this is the way a lot of people are. I mean, this is the way some folks are. They don't really care. They're just upset about something. They want blood. They want somebody to pay. Okay, so it could have even been something you did in this life, someone who had a choice to make and chose to screw with you, but it's going to end up to their detriment because as soon as you break a spell, where does that energy go? Okay, so I'm here and I'm doing that. Yeah, it needs a little light at the end in order for that to work. Hmm. So, um, we have that in our job description, so to speak. Okay. We have the ability to do that. We have the ability to completely wipe out ancestral and generational curses. And that is one thing. And it's not okay. So it's not that simple sometimes to be, I mean, it's been rough. Most of you came in a codependent family. Um, of course you did, you know. I told you about that. I mean, that is a challenge. We really challenged ourselves. But it's not because we didn't have the ability to deal with it. It's because we thought we could do that. And actually, in truth, we can. And it's very helpful to know that you are God, that there is a spark of divinity in you. Remember that? And therefore, you are God when you are doing these things because it can be pretty freaking scary, can it? Yes. And your left hand is a wild barb. Your right is a good night kiss. Ah, that's poetry. No, that's poetry. Yeah, that's our job. It's what we do. Well, Michelle, that's like, well, a little bit of both. Yeah, it's just to confuse you. No. Having a piece of bread, I mean, mango bread. Oh, that sounds good. Mango bread. Mango bread. Wow, that sounds good. Yes, we all carry that spark. So, um, pugilistic poetry. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Hmm. Ron Howard, yeah. Interesting. He was Opie. Interesting, wasn't it? Isn't it? Ron Howard. Um, Opie on the Andy of Mayberry show. Amazing. Amazing ginger boy. Hmm. Oh, banana bread with mango. Oh, that sounds very good. I have to try that. Yes, I'm definitely going to have to try that. I just made rice pudding with dates tonight. That was good. Mm. So basically, I've been breaking them. Okay. And I've mentioned this before. I have been breaking these curses. I've been breaking these curses that I've acquired just in this lifetime. And I know that somebody was cursing me because he told me. Um, and it was for the dumbest thing. Once again, it was kind of a misplaced thing. Um, it was back. Now, that guy was from back when I was doing singing telegrams. He was mad because I did a singing telegram. I said, I'm just singing telegram messenger. He felt it was demeaning or something. I said, I'm just the messenger. Why are you, going to have me cursed? Who's going to have somebody do this? And which at the time I thought that was just bullshit. But he said, oh no, I know some people who are Satanists. It's like, they're like, but why me? I mean, I didn't send you this. I'm just the messenger. He was going to shoot the messenger. I said, it was really your friends that sent you this. Why aren't you upset with them? He says, oh, I'll deal with them as well. So, banana nut muffins. How sweet. Yeah, definitely sweet. So, oh yeah, I wrote them. I actually wrote them too, these skits, because you do skits, you do about 20-minute skits uh, back in that day, 20 to 30 minutes. And and I wrote the comedy for some of those. I wrote some of those skits. I wrote some of the songs I sang. I made up some of the characters I did. And so I was so creative. But then this guy just, so I remember that guy saying, oh, well, I know some Satanists, and they're going to, okay, so it's interesting. And he was the lawyer. But so it was very interesting that, yeah, things did take a very strange turn after that. But I didn't know then what I know now. But it is part of what took me out of that and into my knowing more. So that was just one of the time. Another time, a demon came through somebody that I had never. I didn't realize that was what was actually happening. I just thought he was acting weird. Later on, I understood what happened. So there was like 3 different times that something like that happened. And so I was dealing with all that without knowing it. And I think a lot of people are without knowing it. Plus, my family obviously had problems. So now there is a higher vibration and more light on the planet than ever before. If you have been having trouble breaking this stuff, if you have been having trouble getting rid of these curses and breaking them and clearing that, we're in times when we're going to be able to do that easier than ever before. okay? Because they're going to be weaker. And also because, like I've explained before, some of these people who do things by contract, if that person who is wanting you cursed dies or quits paying or defaults in some way, well, then it goes back on them. So if you feel like that is what's happening in your life, we can do some work on that tonight. And this is a good time of the year because we're in pagan end of the year, because Samhain in some traditions is New Year's Day. So it would be a good time to let go of that stuff and to be able to be clear. And why is it so important to clear all that? It's because we're clearing out the bloodlines, we're just clearing the board. Okay. Make no mistake. You're not just clearing the future, you're clearing the past too. You're not just changing the future when you do this, you're changing your past. Okay. Which means your present is going to change, which is your perception. Okay. It's kind of complicated, but things are going to change for you. If you change these, then your experience of life is going to change. Well, I didn't know back then what was going on, but now that I do, it's pretty impossible for anything like that to work anymore. Um, However, and that's another thing that should have been see, I didn't always know all this stuff that I know now. My ex, he took some of my blood, and supposedly it was in fun. Supposedly he was just playing. Supposedly it was accidental. I don't think so. I think it was on purpose. And I think it was to have some kind of power over me or to get me to marry him because I didn't want to get married. So, so I had all that kind of stuff. And then plus these diseases, these weird diseases that my family had. And I told you the skin condition that one of my grandmothers had complications and died of it, of a type of eczema, which I had a very bad eczema for a while. My mother's problem with the nightshade family, although she would inflict that pain upon herself by eating and growing, by growing tomatoes and eating tomatoes, and she would be in terrible pain and feel horrible the next day and still do it. And she would she would break out in a rash just touching the plants. She still grew them and she still ate them. Yeah, ate them after breaking out in a freaking rash. And then, of course, we were given a new weapon. All these freaking pesticides that people sprayed and were told they were safe absolutely weren't. They're freaking poison. What did we think when we sprayed everything down with this stuff? What did we think was going to happen? I don't know. When I was growing up, nobody thought that way. They all thought this way. They thought, well, they wouldn't be putting it out if it wasn't safe. Why would they do that? Why would they hurt people? If it wasn't safe, surely they've tested it. Surely they've found it to be safe, or they wouldn't be giving it to us, would they? That is how naive people were. I swear. In my mother's generation, my mother, if you talk to her in a certain way that she liked, um, that she considered polite, a good polite, I don't know how many times I, um, I've seen this happen to her, that somebody was not on the up and up. I mean, she had the worst judge. She was the worst judge of character. Honestly, she's a terrible judge of character. And just because they knew how to talk to her, she believed them and she trusted them. It's like, how can you trust this person? I'm looking at it and I'm going, why are you trusting this person? Well, because they fit certain specifications she had in her head about what a person should be like. It's weird. Well, Chloe, it probably is something like I'm talking. Oh, you were cursed a slow and painful death on a train journey by a militant nonconformist, by militant conformist who admonished me for swearing as a rebuttal for being questioned over my non-mask wearing. Dum dum dum, says beloved abstract. Yeah, let's see. Had a witch one day sit me down, say, I know about your generational curse. Bunch of crazy happened that day and never got to know or hear the story. She claims she was there when the curse happened, and it ended with her begging me for her life. Now, is she claiming that you cursed her or that you were cursed? Realize that we've been all kinds of people in all kinds of lives. So, naivete and cognitive dissonance, yeah. Which, wow, that is kind of, well, if you need help, I can help you with it. I, I can probably help you with that. I feel I can. I'm not sure I really understand what was going on there. The way it's hard in chat sometimes. So, oh, you were cursed. And and she might have been, then she was the one who cursed you and begging for her life because now that because she sensed that you were becoming aware of your abilities and could kill her. Whoa. Yeah, because oh my gosh. That means she knew that it could come back on her. That's perhaps what that meant, that it could come back on her and hit her and kill her. Wow. You're kind of walking around it because of what it deals with. Okay, that's okay. I kind of understand that. Like I said, if you need help with it, let me know. I've done this kind of work. Sold her soul to read cards. Wow, that is stupid. I never had to sell anything to do anything. I didn't have to sell my soul for anything. I just had it. You know, you can just get that. Wow, that is some strange shit. Oh, you want to put a link for psoriasis remedy? Okay. Um, great. I can't from here. I will. My other phone is not working right now. It's not. It can't get on the internet, or I would, and I can't do it from StreamYard. I'd have to do it from YouTube, and I can't do that from when I can't be on StreamYard and YouTube without problems. But can you leave it in the comments? Or can you? I tell you what, after the show, I'm going to remind me. I will wrench you. I'll just give you a wrench. It doesn't have to be temporary. If you give me any trouble, I'll just turn you into a newt. It's no big deal. Okay? No big deal. I got this, you know. I haven't put newt, turn people into a newt into this one, but she turned me into a newt. I'll call better. Anyway, what is it wrong? Is it wrong? Just find so much fun in this thing. Okay. So back to the serious stuff. When it comes right down to it, folks, once we know we're God, there's really not much that can come against us and stand. Okay? Once you know who you are, it's very hard to bother us. But if you have a tendency, like there are some family lines that just have a tendency, then that's, oh, you'd make a handsome newt? Well, I'll be the judge of that. We'll see after I do it. Dark Meta. Hi, Dark Meta. Let's see. And saying you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant and walk away. What? Okay, well, yes, get in touch with me. I will definitely help you with that. Well, you know, I would love to, and if some of you are not having any issues like this, well, bless you. You know, and you did not take that on. Most of us did, though. Many of us did. Maybe you did not take that on, but somewhere back in our family, um, somebody did something and it stuck. Now, I don't understand. I'll be the first to say I really don't understand how anything. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that after you get to a certain vibration, nothing can stick, even uncleared generational curses. However, if you've never been the victim of that kind of thing, I understand your reticence to believe that it's even real. or that it can even happen. However, I've seen too much of this kind of thing, and it's not just a tempest in a teapot. So, um, if you haven't had problems with that, that's great. I am so glad to hear that for you. Right, right. Yeah, see, and at the time that all this was going on, I didn't believe in that stuff. And yet there were things that happened after that. But what it led up to was me figuring out how to counteract this stuff. I mean, figuring out how to it's me learning how to banish demons and break curses and, declare my sovereignty, and, I mean, it led up to a lot of skills I didn't even know I had. And, I mean, in this life, a lot of times, that's how you find out you have a skill. As a matter of fact, half the time, I don't know if I can do something until I just try it and see whether or not it works. Right. So, but some of these things are pretty sticky, and it's hard to get rid of. Like, there's a few things that I am still having trouble getting rid of because intellectually, I know better, but my body, there's something going on. My body seems to be reacting to certain things. So there's something going on. So, I had to get rid of this stuff, and, back in the day, I just was of the impression that a lot of people have. Now, I hate to tell you, this is the shit sandwich theory, right? There are people out there that have lives that are such that their philosophy is life is a shit sandwich. That's all it is. That's their belief, and they believe in Murphy's Law, and that's what their lives are too. That's their lives. So, yeah. So, exactly, dark matter. It's a somatic response. I'm still dealing with that. So, no matter what I know intellectually and spiritually, my body's got to get with the program. And if you're having that kind of issue, I totally get that because my body's having that issue. I still haven't 100% cleared that. Okay. But it's going, it's on its way out. Okay. And I'm determined that I'm going to get rid of that because I know I can. Right. Intellectually, I have detached, but my body still is reacting to certain energies. I mean, like I said, I'm a work in progress. I think we all are. Okay. I have a much better life now than I did. I mean, back at that time, even though I was abundantly talented, and I mean, the number one question that I've been asked my whole life is, "You're so freaking talented. How is it that you're not rich? You should be filthy rich." it's like, but I never had any answer for that. I don't, I didn't have an answer. Um, because it wasn't that I didn't try, and it wasn't that I didn't have talent. I mean, people recognized that I had a lot of talent, and in everything, every kind of thing, I could do every kind of thing. As a matter of fact, it was strange because when I got on the psychic fairs circuit, there was all kinds of people with different specialties doing all kinds of stuff. And just about everything I was interested in, if I wanted to do it, I could just do it. I could I I could do it. I found out after trying it, I could do it. And it's like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. And I mean, most of my life was like, geez, I didn't know I could do that. Oh boy. Yeah, for some empathics. Yeah, that's the thing is when you have the empathy thing going on. Oh, brother, it's rough. Right. We even feel bad for the abusive people. Those poor people, they really are in the dark, right? Jeez. Oh, jeez. Um, yeah, I mean, and usually we have such big hearts, and we we may be mad in the moment. Like I'll tell you though, you watch out. If I'm hangry, I could see where I could be a dangerous person. Yep, if I'm hangry, if I haven't eaten, like um, I've been fasting. Uh, intermittent fasting. And when it comes time and I haven't eaten and you're between me and food, if you're getting up in my face, up in my grill about any damn thing at all, oh yeah, I have to be very careful because it's like you're standing between me and my food. It's like an angry lion or something, like a hungry lion. It's like, I'm sorry, but, you know, well, yeah, and you don't want to do things to bring karma upon yourself, um, either. I mean, just out of self preservation. Ah, okay. Well, that's a very interesting way of saying it, dark meta. I can see that point. The compassion is missing, the conscience. As a matter of fact, there is such a thing as a dark empath. And dark empaths are very good at knowing exactly what to say and what to do to win your confidence and to get you to do what they want. They're very good at it. They're very good. So, dark empaths are basically people who are using their empathy for evil. Yes. So you're speaking of what they're calling dark empaths. There you go, Dolly. Yeah, the fibromyalgia, the adrenal exhaustion. What's MPS? I'm not sure what MPS is, but yeah, I have several diagnoses that I'm gradually getting out of. I mean, I have things that you're supposed to never lose, but I'm going to lose. I'm going to get rid of them. In this lifetime, they are going to go. Right, dark matter, yeah. Narcissists, no, they're not hurt. The narcissists love that, and that means it's working. What they're doing is working. And I would have to say narcissism is a type of black magic, if you ask me. The narcissist is performing a type of black magic. Jackie! Hey. Um, here's the other thing about that is that why are they not getting it all piled on them? They do not have, and this gives you a clue, because I've long said, is karma real? Not the way we think of it, not the way most people think of karma. Okay? Karma is just the law of cause and effect, basically. But is karma real the way most people think of it? No, I don't think so. And then dharma was something, a concept created so you could get out of some of your karma because you have some karma just by living here. You have been killing things your whole life. I mean, you're a natural born killer. Your body has been killing things that have been trying to kill you all this time, since the very beginning. So that's what they mean by you come in with karma and you incur karma when you're here. And it doesn't matter how nice you are, your body is going to do that stuff. Okay. That's just the way your body works. This is a very tough realm. It's a life eat life realm. And that doesn't matter whether it's flora or fauna or mineral, you're tearing something apart and adding it to your constituent body to survive. And you're killing invaders that are trying to suck those lovely nutrients and live on your nutrients. So that's sort of what's meant, I think, by, you cannot come into this realm without automatically having karma. In that regard, well, if you're empathic and have compassion, you've probably been in the same time. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Who's Gary Mule Deer? I'm trying to remember who Gary Mule Deer. Ah, dear. So, ick. Yeah. Um, now, as I said, one of the best things that you can do for yourself and the world is raise your vibration to a point where all of this stuff is just a moot point, where all of this stuff is just not going to affect you. And that is possible. That's quite possible. There is a point after which, and it kind of reminds me a little bit, wasn't it? I did not pay attention to the whole Harry Potter thing. Okay. I mean, I had very little attention to pay because right around that time, pardon me, my back itches, and now I'm going to use my magic wand to scratch that little itch back there. Probably where the tag is. But anyway, um, it's kind of like, isn't it in the school where they put curses and stuff on each other as jokes, and then you have to find some way to undo it. And it's just part of part of the lessons you learn at the school, I guess. And you get to a point where none of that stuff affects you. Well, that's the point we got to get to. But definitely, if you have had some contracts in the past, like that person that you were talking about, I mean, holy cow, what and we're there like, uh, what a stupid thing to do. But to some people, they don't realize that. Some people don't even believe they have a soul. Don't even believe that that is even a thing. Don't know anything about contracts, um, and what that even means. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that a lot of us aren't really into Harry Potter? Why? Because eh, that's a good question. But to me, it always seemed like it's Hollywood. So how real is it going to be? However, there are some things that are real in Harry Potter that so far that I've seen. I mean, there's a whole lot of Hollywood bullshit in it, okay? But there is some truth, like there is in almost everything. Like, for instance, one I gotta tell you, I know that one of the parts of the movie I saw is when the pictures began to move. When the pictures of the people who were gone, when they began to move, that can happen. Yeah, can happen. We've had that happen. That happened to somebody. I painted a picture of one of my friends who was long gone, and one of my psychic friends came over and swore that the picture was she said, "How did you get it to do that? Do what? Change like that?" And then when I said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, and then she gets this confused look on her face when she looks at it again, and she says, "Wait, I thought that was a picture of wait, I how did you do that?" It's I didn't do that. It was a picture of my friend Jackie who had died. She was a Jackie, and she was the Bat Lady, and she had died. And what she saw was an entirely different picture of Jackie. But that was something Jackie did, okay, from the other side, not me. I didn't do it. It was kind of interesting, though. Yeah. Mm. There you go. Oh, the first 5 minutes, you're my enemy. First 5 minutes you ever spoke to your narc, the words "you're my enemy" came out my mouth. Whoa! We tell each other these things and then we don't believe us. Mhm. Yep. Um, yeah, the incoming assaults, um, is a key to survival, exactly. Um, well, and getting rid of ego. See, I can't really agree with this getting rid of ego thing. You can't get rid of your ego, you'll die. Why? Because your ego is what keeps your body and your spirit together, okay? That's all it does, although it tries to do more. Okay. It'll try to drive the bus. It'll try to drive your car. Okay. But you need to just be a crossing guard. You need to keep that ego on a leash. I mean, it is there for a reason. Your ego exists for a reason. There's no reason to really hate it. And I know people, that's another term that's been babbled. I don't think we all agree on exactly what ego is. Mhm. Oh, yeah, that everything's a lie, about somebody that, yeah, and you know what? They'll do things for some reason, they'll have an ability. Some of these people will have an ability to convince people regardless. They'll convince people that what they're saying, and it's like, bide in. How the hell does he keep telling the same lie? How does he lie? Every single thing that old Joe Sniffer has said about his, has ever told anybody about his past, about his heritage, about his times in his life. He's made it up. He's lied. I mean, and people have finally caught him in the lie. Now it's finally catching up with him. Joe's lies are catching up, and people are saying right out, that never happened, or it didn't happen the way you said. Wait a minute, you were born in this kind of community, this kind of community, this kind of community, and this kind of community? Are you kidding me? You know, you went to a black church, and I mean, no, you didn't. You never did. No, you didn't. You were, but I mean, it's just everything that he didn't graduate in the top of his class. He graduated in the bottom of his class. He did graduate, but in the bottom of his class. All of these lies. How do they do it? How do they do it? How do they get people to believe it? I think they made a deal. Okay. Oh, it systematically hardens and strangles. Interesting, because I've never been tested for that and I don't know anything about it. However, I have the thing where your muscles tighten and then they don't loosen, or have had it. I am finally getting over that. Found out he had a whole family. I wondered that about my ex. The way that things were with him, I really wondered if he had another family somewhere. Found out that they were married and had been 10 years. Oh my goodness. Oh, the link on PayPal. The link on PayPal. The link on PayPal. The link. Okay. Somehow I don't know what you're talking. The link. It's a link on PayPal. Okay. I do have a email, oceandiana@gmail.com. PayPal. Okay, I'll go look at PayPal. His wife was 50. Whoa. Well, the thing about my ex is, like, soon after our dissolution, he was already all set up to marry. He already had figured out who he was going to marry next. He had his pigeon all lined up. So, many topical applications of iodine. Oh yes. Yes, I've used iodine for things. Yes. So, beloved abstract is saying the self is the only reality. That's on the inside, and everything else is ego, and that's the outside. The real is inside, and the false self is ego on the outside. Okay, well, if that's your definition, that's an interesting definition. It does change the parameters from what most people think of when they think of ego. But I can see where that would work as a definition. Narcissists or manipulators, yeah, they're great at that, aren't they? And they're so good. Oh, you're going to sleep now? Okay, no. Okay, well, thanks for coming by. Dream well and dream big, my friend. Myofascial pain syndrome. Mm. Well, the symptoms, I don't know, but maybe the symptoms are somewhat similar. Uh, Sometimes my whole body would feel like it was Charlie horsed. I'm going out of that phase now. I'm finally clearing that. Right, right. Protective and loving instincts because we're people, and I swear they're not. There's something. Okay, now actually that is a description of some of the those that some of you may laugh, but the reptilians. Some of the reptilians have no. They can do what they do because they have no conscience. They don't have. They only have a sense of duty, and they have contracts. They don't have conscience. They don't have the little voice saying, that's wrong. So that really sounds very like some of the evil reptiles. They just don't have that structure. And sometimes I wonder if that's the problem, is that some of these people really got that from that direction. Are they the uh love children is the wrong word, but the illegitimate children of some lizard somewhere, and I mean genetically anyway, because we know that some of those good old boys raped the women. um so that was yes, you have studied and learned much about narcs. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want there to be any interruption in supply. Okay, take care. No, we were the purest source they can't get from these. Yeah. Oh boy. Cool. Dark matter. Very cool. Right. And you know what? Call them back. Call back the pieces of yourself, because missing pieces is what shaman call soul loss. And it is like a loss of a part of your energy, of your total energy. So if you have uh, feel like pieces are missing, that is absolutely possible. and they're inaccessible to you, I'm not sure that anything can be entirely missing, but in some way they're inaccessible to you. You're not you don't have your full energy available to you. Right, and it's really hard when you know you warned yourself. When there was that little thing inside you that said, "Don't do that. What are you, crazy?" And then you go ahead and do it anyway, you get talked into it. Well, he had the help, though. Everybody we knew, he talked them into helping him, talked me into marrying him. So, yeah, there's a lot of all of I think there's a lot of all of us that are absent. We have little bits and pieces we've left here and there. Yeah. Ecklefish rules. Yeah, that's right. Uh, Ecklefish. Oh, okay. Cowboy's finally out of training now. He's finally not he's finally awake. And in his grooming, I mean, he has to look really good for all his female fans that he's accumulated. Well, it pushed a lot of us to learn and develop things that we wouldn't have otherwise. I mean, if we had, let's just say we had just an easy life, you know, simple life like some people have. Like sometimes we have probably been, I mean, I know I was so envious. Some people just had a life they did not have nearly as complicated as I did. So there was an episode of Dharma and Greg where she was talking to a dead Indian. Basically, she had helped him die on top of the tall building that she had an apartment in, and um, because he had come there to die, and she was talking to his spirit afterwards, and she had just had one of those crises, existential crisis, when she realized that her whole childhood was fake. I mean, a lot of us have that kind of thing. I mean, when you realize that something about your childhood just wasn't so, that your childhood, the way you saw it, it was nothing like that, really. Wow, that's wonderful, Dark Matter. Um, so she's having this crisis, realizing that her whole childhood was a lie. Everything she thought was going on, that wasn't what was going on at all. And one of the things that she thought she'd had the most wonderful toy when she was growing up. It was called Shoe Boat. And, it was just great. It floated in the bathtub and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then as she was talking to him, she realized that it wasn't really a toy that her parents gave her. It's just an old shoe that floated. And she said, and I thought it was the best toy. Well, I didn't have any real toys when I was growing up. I didn't really have any toys. And you know what the old Indian said in the spirit world, from the spirit world? He said, maybe girls who grew up with real toys can't talk to dead Indians. That's a lot of wisdom for a TV show. Whoa. Yeah, I have a couple of channels for, narcissistic too. Uh, so, I have a couple of narcissists. I could probably do with that research myself because, yeah, I've certainly had narcissists in my life, and I'm gradually getting through that. There's stuff that I'm still peeling off myself, and it comes off once again. What do I always say? It comes off in layers. It's like an onion. It's it's layers like an onion, or it is also you can also use the iceberg. It's down there in your iceberg, which is mostly below the surface, which is exactly what subconscious is. It's the unseen. It is the part of you that is below the surface. It is unseen. And so the bottom of the iceberg is where a lot of this stuff is. And much like the iceberg, a lot of it's trapped in there, frozen. And you've got to thaw it out in order to get rid of it. You got to melt it down. But the problem is, then a lot of times you feel that again, and that's shadow work. So, oh, cute, cool. Guitar channels. Yeah, I play guitar. Um, I play guitar and a couple of things. And of course, I sing. We got to get our band together, you guys. We need our band. You know what I'm saying? Um, sure, you can leave that kind of stuff. It's that kind of information. Um, well, I don't even have a bicycle anymore. I actually broke my leg the last time I had a bicycle. I broke my leg on it because I was just doing something stupid. And I haven't had one since. I just, there's been too many other things going on. Well, yeah, you can have narcissistic tendencies, and some of those are learned. As a matter of fact, maybe all of them are learned. I mean, I don't know that narcissists are necessarily born that way. You know, they've got to learn it from somewhere, I think. Belting it out in the shower. Yeah, when I'm not showering in the middle of the night and waking people up. Oh, NPD is narcissistic personality disorder. Okay. NPD. I thought it was the Norway Police Department or something. I don't know. I didn't know that NPD was actually narcissistic personality disorder, but now I do. What if your NPD? What if your NPC has NPD? I mean, what if you're hooked to an NPC that has NPD? Then you're really in trouble. Well, yeah, I can imagine that being raised by narcissists. You just think that's normal, right? You just think it's all normal. That's the way, obviously, that people behave. That's the way you do things. Narcissist way. That's the way to get by, right? You gotta have an arc in your life to know empathy. Interesting. Interesting, Dolly. And if you give a shit about people, you're not a narcissist. I'm not one, for sure. But, okay, MPD is PID. MPD is PID. I'm totally, you know what? When it comes to the alphabet soup things, I'm really bad at remembering all that. Get in trouble. That's OMG, right? Good doesn't exist without evil. What are you doing? No, you know you're not supposed to. Get, cut it out. No. He likes to sharpen his claws on my vibrating platform and pull the magnets out. I don't know what he thinks he's doing with those magnets, but he's pulled, and only on one side, not the other side. No, only on the left side. Only the magnets on the left. The right side magnets are not nearly as cool as the left side magnets. Those are the ones he finds very attractive. So, oh, had no clue we were just. Yeah, you never know you're dysfunctional. You just think that's the way it goes when you're raised by people a certain way. You just figure, well, that's the way it is, especially if you got friends that got the same thing going on. And really, when I was raised in a neighborhood where a lot of the same shit was going on with everybody. Okay? So, I mean, that was just the way people raised their kids. I didn't understand that there was anything odd about it at all. Narcissism for BPD. Oh, okay, yeah. I can kind of see that. What about Bob? What the heck's trapped? BLB, what's Bob? Bring your own beer? Mhm. My ex was Bob. You think good still exists without evil? Well, you know what? When you define a term by the opposite term, that isn't really very good. So I'm not sure that it's a great definition. Um, I mean, when you say love is the absence of fear, is that really, or fear is the absence of love? Well, in a way, I guess that's true, but is that really a definition that's like saying, well, a man is a human that isn't a woman? Well, what's a woman? Well, a woman is somebody who's not a man, a human that's not a man. And it's like, okay, that's confusing. So, so I'm not sure I'm really down with that, but yeah, and right now our society is having that existential discussion about what's a man and what's a woman outside of. But to me, a woman is a grown person with two X and no Y, and that's that, you know. But evil and good is very hard because is it evil or good? It's very as it's applied to you, you know? What's evil for you may be good for somebody else. What's good for somebody else may be evil for you. I mean, what's evil for somebody is maybe good for you. And I mean, it's it got some definitely got some gray areas. Well, yeah, but see, they're changing, they're babbling our words. So female is up for grabs, one of those words that's being babbled again. Right, gaslighting, exactly. And full exposure is gonna happen, as a matter of fact. That's something I gotta warn you guys about. From now till the end of the month and actually beyond that. But really, we're going into some times, and I'm sure that most of you are aware, that we're in absolutely crazy bonkers times, okay? And it's gonna be crazy bonkers. I mean, and you're gonna get as a matter of fact, towards the end of the month, and maybe or it may be early next month, it may be next month, we're gonna probably get some scares that are gonna, most people are gonna just, like, it's gonna be brown trouser time for them, okay? Whatever is going on, don't be afraid. You're not, um things that are happening to the people in the outside world don't have to happen to you. Things that are happening to people, what the heck is going on? There's probably something. Well, anyway, things that are going on outside of you are not necessarily gonna happen to you. Um, you might have put yourself on a different timeline, and actually, when you break a curse, you put yourself on a different timeline. You put When you break a generational curse, you put your whole family on a different timeline. But actually, you've brought yourself to the timeline where that no longer exists, which gives you and actually your family too a much better life. Um, but of course, you're actually just moving yourself to the timeline where that is the case. So, oh yeah, gaslighting. What do we see in the government all the time? They gaslight us all the freaking time. The problem is, our government is a codependent family, and they're a bunch of freaking narcissists. You want to put it in a word? You want to see narcissism? What are we seeing in our government? Our government's run by narcissists. Right. You didn't see it, you didn't hear it, unless we said you did. It's weirdest before the woo. Ah, okay, so really, what we want, we want to have a better life, yeah. I mean, that's really what we're looking for, right? I mean, we're looking to have a better life. We're looking to do the ascension thing. We're looking to have a better time on this ride that we're on this crazy freaking, you know, game that we're playing here. This weird simulation that we find ourselves in. Um, that's what we're really looking for, is we're looking to have a better time, because there are times when this freaking game ain't no damn fun, right? It's repetitive. I mean, sometimes it's very repetitive and boring. I mean, so um, we want out of that. Oh, nope, no mystery there. Why you would want out of that, right? So, but we've all been everything. We've been those narcissists. Yep. We've been the people that we hate. We've been like that. We're different now, but wow. Um, yes, it's odd to think that you might have been somebody who burned a witch in your past life. But when I see how mistaken people can be about things, how blind, how hypnotized, how taken advantage of this species has been for so long, it's easier to forgive and just go on. And forgiveness doesn't mean you have to hang around and deal with the fallout from anything. You can just forgive them and go on and say, okay, that's a phase of my life that I was for learning, and see you around. Good luck. Right. Right. Well, there is nothing wrong with that that I can see clearly. That's pretty much what I want. It's like based on the person I am now, you know, which is pretty awesome. And actually, you're pretty awesome too. And most of you guys are awesome in here, or